Going Beyond Beginner. Okay, so we've covered absolutely so much in this course, but we've really kept it at a beginner level. And that's because we offer this course for free, and we really want you to get involved with freelancing, give it a try, see how it goes within your career, and see if it's right for you. Now, a lot of people, when they do this freelancing, when they get exposed to it and they start doing it, they're going to say, gosh, I actually want to do a little bit more. I want to go beyond the beginner capability. I want to do this maybe even on a professional level. Maybe I want to go full-time with it. But at the end of the day, you want to go beyond just the basics of skill set. You want to make more money, and you want to just do better within your freelancing career. So we have the resources within Reverse Tide to help you do exactly that. And let's go through a few of the things that you would want to go into a little bit more detail on, and then of course how we can help. So let's go into it. So the first thing that you would want to do, going beyond being a beginner freelancer, is to sell your services with ease. Now we know that when it comes to freelancing, this is probably the biggest downside, that you're always selling your services because the gigs themselves don't last all that long. So once you finish with one, you have to go back out onto the market, propose for a new job, and go up against all of the competitors for that job. So how do you sell your services with a little bit more ease? How do you improve your sales? Here are the different things that you would do going beyond the beginner level. So the first thing is you would want to build some exceptional qualifications. You want your skills to shine through, and you want to be capable of doing all the different jobs that are out there in the freelance world. Beyond just your qualifications, you want to understand how to write a business proposal for open jobs. You don't want to do those one-click applications. You don't want to send a very simplistic resume. You want to go beyond that and write a full business proposal that are going to impress all of the different hirers out there. What else? You want to organize all of your job application materials, so things like your resume, your portfolio, and all kinds of other things, and you want to do it in a way that's impactful to hirers. If you have a strong resume, a strong portfolio that demonstrates all your skills, it's going to make selling your services that much easier. And finally, after you get beyond the beginner level, you want to get off the freelance boards if possible, and you want to start proactively selling your services, whether it's to your network or through direct sales. Now, why would you want to do that? The freelance boards are great in terms of locating the available jobs, but the problem is you're up against all kinds of competitors. And when you're doing that, number one, the likelihood of you getting those jobs is a lot less, and therefore you wouldn't want to spend quite as much time on your application. But number two is when you're up against all of these competitors, it drives down the rate that you're able to charge. So the best freelancers, the most professional of them, they get off the freelance boards and they do it through proactive selling. So that's what we would do if we were going beyond beginner. Now, the last thing that we'll mention, of course, and this is pretty obvious, is you would want to make more money. So a beginner is going to have a little bit hard time in terms of negotiation, but you can negotiate better, and you can learn to show your value throughout the sales process. All right, what's the next thing? You also want to do exceptional work. So what does that mean in the context of beginner versus advanced freelancing? You want to write a great contract that mutually benefits both yourself as well as the client. So good freelancers get really good in terms of writing out the right contract and making sure that the scope of their work is clearly defined. Of course, they want to get the job done exactly to the specifications of that client. They want to exceed expectations and be hired a second time. They want to make sure that they get great reviews and referrals so that they can put that within their job applications and show that they have the social proof of all the exceptional work that they've done. They want to get repeat work from the same client and, of course, grow what you're able to do from them so that way you can make more money and constantly have a good stream of work. What else do you want to do in terms of going beyond beginner level? You want to build your freelance operation into a full business. Now, what do we mean by that? It means expanding your capabilities and the size of the work that you do for your clients. It means doing more than just selling your own services. It means that you're adding to the team. It means you're adding people. It means that you're selling on behalf of other people doing work. That really helps you go beyond the beginner level. It means making a lot more money. Obviously, that's something that any freelancer, any professional would want to do. And it automates what you do so that the business runs without your direct work. In other words, you would be an owner rather than just simply always being the one doing the work. So anyway, these are the things that a beginner might not necessarily be doing quite as well, but as you go further within your freelance career, these are the things that you would want to keep in mind so that you can get much better within your trade and really benefit yourself as a freelance professional. Now, how do you go about doing all the different things that we've listed in this video? Well, Reverse Tide is here to help. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick demonstration of Reverse Tide's offerings. And we think that we help you do all of the different things that we've listed, but we're going to go through it very quickly. So here we go. Okay, so what you see here is Reverse Tide's homepage, and it's very simple, reversetide.com. Now we have all kinds of different things in terms of how to be a better freelancer, how to learn new skills, and then how to build your career, whether it's freelance or otherwise, based on what you've learned. So let's just go through a couple pages so you understand where to find these resources. So the very first thing that we'll show you is our page called Reverse Tide Freelance. And it's a little microsite dedicated to everything under the sun in terms of freelance. So you can see the course that you're taking right now, but it's actually part of a 3-part freelance course series. So the first version, it's just an introduction, as we've said many times, and that's free. But the second course is all about increasing freelance sales. We'll go into a lot of detail within that course in terms of all the best methods for increasing your sales and really being more successful as you're looking for different pieces of work. The third course gets into a lot more detail in terms of freelancing gigs and turning that not just into gig by gig, but going beyond it into a more lucrative business. After the 3-part series of freelance courses, we have all kinds of different resources at Reverse Tide. So we give some of our recommendations on all the resources that would be most important to a freelancer more specifically. So you can see things like cybersecurity, accounting, productivity, sales management, portfolios, all the different things that would be most important as you're doing your freelance work, selling it, and doing all the business things associated with that job. So we give our recommendations of the best resources within this page. And then as you scroll back up here, we have all kinds of perspective-based articles as well. So these are all going to, again, be opinions kind of dedicated within the freelance world. Now, if you go on to the next part, this is Reverse Tide's bread and butter, and that's our learning page as well as our career services page. So let me show you the learning page, and that looks like this. So what you'll find on the learning page is all kinds of different subjects and the best way to learn each one of these things. So we divide it into 3 categories. There's business subjects, technology subjects, as well as marketing subjects. And within each one of these, we give our recommended learning path for each. So what's the best way to learn it? What are the best sources? How can you do that in a cost-effective way? How can you learn these new subjects, learn these new skills, and then quickly go get experience? And then finally, how do you apply that to your career? So just to go down the list, we have all kinds of different marketing subjects. All these things would be very valuable for you as a freelancer. If you do more technology-based work, then you can learn some of those skill sets as well as some of the different business subjects in addition to those. So you can see business management, communications, strategy. You have all the marketing subjects, content, print, email. So why don't we try social media just to give you a flavor for what that looks like. We talk about the outcomes, the best way to learn, but then we go down and we start talking about all the different ways to learn marketing. So for social media, we talk about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And within each one of these, we give the recommended learning path to learn each one. As you go down, each of these different learning paths will have how you get experience once you've learned those skills. So we talk about project ideas, freelancing, we talk about the skills to focus on, and so on and so forth. And then at the end, each one has career services. And within those career services, we do all kinds of different things. We have guides specific to the different subjects and how you best write impactful qualifications for that subject specifically. And then we have generic guides in terms of how to build a top resume, a cover letter, a professional portfolio. And then, of course, all the freelancing specific things like proposals, sales, and freelance businesses. So that's what we do. And you can see more specifically when you go to our career services page, it shows all the different things that we have, all the different guides that we have for all of these different subjects. The last thing we offer are personalized career services. So these are more specifically where we work one-on-one with you to put together a great resume, a great portfolio, or really anything else within your career. And then finally, we have tons of careers perspectives. So we told you that we do that for free for freelancing, but we also have many articles dedicated to the different subjects within your career. So as you can see, the resources are plentiful. If you want to go beyond just being a simple freelancer, a beginner freelancer, we have the resources to help you do all three of those things we talked about. Improve your sales, do better work within your gigs themselves, and then build that into a successful and lucrative business. We really hope that helps, and we really hope that we can work with you further. Thanks so much for taking our course.